Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew. I'm Grandpa.
Hi, Daddy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Mimi.
I'm Grammy.
I'm Matt.
I'm Daniel.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
Hey, girl.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't do is grow this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We just got into the farm market and we're gonna get started on setting it up. The last time we had you with us, we had a very busy day on our hands. I believe Daniel got most of the hay crop all mown down. So that's something we're gonna be focused on this week coming up. Now, since we are getting into fall, things do not dry down as fast as they used to. One, it's not warm, you know, it's getting a little cooler. And two, probably most importantly, we don't have as much sunlight as we used to, so things do not dry down near as fast. So because of that, I don't know how much work we'll have to do when it comes to the hay today, but I do know it was a big job getting all of it mown down. But first things first, we're gonna get this farm market all cleaned and set up. Farm market is all set up and we are now open. Outside though, Daniel's been working on something a little different. As you can see, we've got plenty of open spots up here in front of the farm market, so we're gonna need to be filling those up, which is what Daniel is working on. He got a wagon load of mums to put out. Daniel brought all these mums up from greenhouse number 4. He said there's only 23 mums left in that greenhouse. So that is a good sign. That means that we are just about finished with those greenhouses down over the hill, so we can get them winterized and then we won't even have to worry about them anymore. Wagon is now completely empty. There still is a few open spots up here in front, but the rest of the mums that we're gonna need are gonna come from the largest greenhouse. We still need a few reds, some whites, and purples. Over the past couple days, we've been pretty busy, and I think a lot of people have been picking up mums, but it's the time of the year for it, so we kind of expect it, and we're happy to see them go. Not that we don't like having flowers around, it's just, that's why we raise them, to sell them. So the first job we're gonna be moving on to today is getting some white sweet corn picked. Dad just got back from the wholesaler, so he's working on unloading his truck. And Daniel is here with Aunt Rhonda. He's helping her get the rest of the mums finished. And since everybody's working on their own little job, it's a perfect opportunity for me to run and grab some corn. Our white sweet corn patch is slowly getting less and less, but that's for good reason. We've been harvesting quite a bit here, and everything that we harvest, we end up chopping for the cattle. By now, a lot of these secondary ears on the corn should be ripened up. However, because we've been receiving less sunlight and the nights have been relatively cooler, things haven't been growing as fast. So before, when our sweet corn would be this mature, I would have no worries about going through and pulling every single ear that I see. However, I'm trying to be a little more selective because I don't want to give anybody underripe corn, because usually it's not filled out all the way. This time of the year, you'll see a lot of customers canning or freezing sweet corn, which is cool because we do that ourselves. Now, most of the time people will use the yellow and white, but you do have a few that like to use just the white. So what I like to do is make sure that I'm picking ears that are nice and ripe, so everybody that is freezing or canning sweet corn gets a nice ear to use. What is this? Look at this random wet spot. Like, just right in the middle of the field. Nothing grew there. As I'm going out through the field, I gotta be a little careful because look at these ears. Oh, these ears look nice, but nope, that's field corn. Someone didn't clean out the hoppers. Where did I leave my basket at? Am I lost? Oh, there it is. 1, 2, 3, potato. Well, that took no time at all, and there's still plenty of sweet corn there if we need to come back and pick. I believe there was a little over an acre of white sweet corn here, and now we're down to probably a quarter of that. We've gone through it pretty quick. What's nice though is that there was white sweet corn here and yellow sweet corn, and after we've gone through and harvested, none of it was wasted. which that makes everybody happy. But this is kind of what we have left here. Just a few more rows. While I was harvesting the sweet corn, Dad was over here getting the calves taken care of, and Daniel was also bringing in some beef that Mom had picked up this morning from the butcher. So like I said, everybody's been working on their own little jobs, but now it's time to get the rest of the animals taken care of, so Daniel and I are gonna feed silage. Not too much changes with silage for now. It's kind of the same routine every day. It is pretty easy, but you do need 2 people to feed. As we get more into wintertime and when we start pulling out of the bags, then you only need 1 person. So that's nice. Look at our little baby back there with the mama. Oh, these calves are doing great. We still have Daisy and her baby in there, but Rosie and her calf have been out in pasture. They've been running around. No one seems to be bothering the calf, so we're happy about that. Everything's looking good. While we were finishing up the animals, Matthew was out in the fields. He was doing a little bit of picking, but he came back to get me so that we can go out and pick together. He did get a little bit of broccoli. We're not sure if we're gonna need some more, but I know we need some cauliflower. No. If we're doing cauliflower, you should go to the other end. Now Matthew did get 2 bushel of broccoli cut this morning, and on the way over we decided we're not going to cut anymore. It does keep for longer out in the fields as opposed to in the cooler. We are running into a little bit of an issue though. The broccoli has been kind of spoiling. It's due to all the moisture, same problem that a lot of the other vegetables are dealing with, but we've been trying to do our best to go through the broccoli as much as we can and get the orders taken care of. Since we're not getting broccoli, we're going to be moving on to cauliflower, and there is a lot of nice cauliflower here. Look at that. Marlin. Now with cauliflower, as we're harvesting, there's a few things we need to keep in mind. One, we want to make sure that the head is a nice size, like what we have here. And then when we're cutting, we want to make sure that we keep a few leaves with it. A lot of times when people cut cauliflower, they like to clean it up as much as possible, but we do want to keep a few leaves on here just so that it doesn't get bruised when we move it from basket to basket. Something to keep in mind. I mean, this stuff just looks nice. And that one, no, that's not too small. That's beautiful. Now we just got done talking about how the broccoli lasts a little bit longer in the field. Cauliflower is actually a little bit on the opposite side. We do raise some self-wrapping cauliflower, so that's very beneficial for us. That helps to protect it from the sun. However, even though a lot of this stuff is self-wrapping, you still will have some cauliflower that's exposed, and when it's exposed to direct sunlight, it turns yellow, and then it starts to turn black. Now, not too much changes with the flavor when the cauliflower starts to turn yellow. However, it does, for whatever reason, make it much less desirable, and it does not sell as well. So what we're gonna do is be very proactive about our cauliflower and come through the fields quite often just to make sure we don't run into any yellowing of our cauliflower. Oh, this is a big head. I think this is a little small, yeah. There's a bunch of... Here's one we caught just in the nick of time. You see how yellow that is compared to how nice and white that is. So we got this one. We may end up eating this one because these don't always sell the best. That's why we're out here often trying to pick cauliflower to make sure we can get it before it starts turning yellow. We got 3 bushel of cauliflower now harvested. The stuff looks really, really good. We got to a lot of these heads just in time to prevent them from yellowing. Again, yellowing would not be the end of the world, but it's something we try and avoid. The cauliflower moves a lot faster through the farm market when there's no discoloration. Now that we're all finished with harvesting the cauliflower, we're gonna be moving on to tomatoes. Now you're probably all thinking, what? Tomatoes? I thought we were done with harvesting tomatoes. No, not yet. Harvesting tomatoes now is just much more difficult. As a matter of fact, the only tomatoes that we can harvest is plum, because they're the only ones that have actually held up from the weather and from the disease. Now that does not mean that they are perfect. We are still dealing with a lot of nasty when it comes to tomatoes, and there's bugs everywhere. But we need 3 baskets because one, Grammy needs tomatoes, so we need to come out here. And while we're out here, we figure it's a good opportunity to look for an extra basket or 2 to have, just in case someone comes in looking for some canners. This is the only time of the year where I don't really enjoy picking tomatoes, and that's due to all the rotten ones. There are bugs flying around everywhere. They get in your face, they get in your nose. Ugh, it's just not fun. You know, I think this is a good time to mention as I'm walking out through the field, if you have not already, make sure you like the video. It helps us out a lot. Also, if you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. We're trying to reach 200,000 before the year is up. Can we do it? I don't know. We're trying to find out. That should wrap it up for tomatoes. Matthew and I just got the 3rd basket filled. The only reason I see us coming out here to pick any more tomatoes is if any of the family members are canning and they need us to grab tomatoes, because it is getting quite difficult to pick. If we have orders, it's not gonna be fun. We were taking everything that we harvested back to the farm, but we were getting flagged down by Dad, so we gotta see what's going on. What happened?
Broke the shear pin.
Oh.
I need a bar. I'm all jammed up.
We've got everything brought back and moved into the cooler. We do need to head out and pick a little bit more. We need 4 baskets of yellow and white sweet corn, and we also need some kale. We've got a little bit of a detour here because we got it jammed up so good. We're having to turn it backwards and pull a lot of the stubble out, which has been a little bit of a pain. Turned out when we had our jam up, it caused an electrical issue. Now that the electrical issue has been resolved, we are able to run the chopper backwards, unclogging it. Now it is lunchtime, but Dad wants to get this all chopped up because he's gonna be going to the auction. So Dad's gonna spend a little more time here. We're gonna head back and get something to eat, and then we'll have to take Daniel back to his chopper. Alrighty, it is now lunchtime here on the farm. It looks like we are having BLTs today. We just got finished with lunch, so we're gonna take Daniel back out to his mower, and Matthew and I are gonna get picking again. Matthew and I are now at the yellow and white sweet corn, so we're gonna get started picking. Basically the same concept I had with the white corn earlier. It has been growing a little bit slower, but thankfully all of these top ears should be ripe. As we get closer into fall and ultimately the end of vegetable harvest, this is something you just have to keep in mind. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. Am I tired of working? No. Would I like a break? Yeah, but who wouldn't? You never really get a break on the farm because the second we're done with vegetable harvest, we're gonna be moving into grain harvest. And I mean, we also got all the animals to take care of. There's always building projects that need to be done. But for now, I'm not gonna worry about that, and I'm just gonna pick sweet corn. So we just got our 4 baskets of yellow and white sweet corn harvested. Hopefully that'll get us through the rest of the day. But we have exciting news. We've been using the side-by-side now for a few months, and it's officially a farm vehicle, because if you see right here, there is grass growing in the bed of it. That is the sign of a farm vehicle when you have literal weeds growing in the back of the vehicle. And I'm so happy we got that sweet corn picked. There's only one more thing we need to harvest, and that would be kale. We're talking about kale and how when we go back to spring and we're selling vegetable plants, we tell everybody to buy kale. Why? Well, because it's one of the easiest things to grow and it comes back so quickly, so you're gonna get multiple harvests. The only thing is, once we get to this point in the year, we don't sell as much kale as we think we should. And
spotted lanternfly!
Matt,
Spotted lanternfly!
Go get it, Matt! Matt's looking for a spotted lanternfly. We don't have too many of them here, but when we find them, we dispatch them. Mare's tail! If you live in like New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, you hear about these guys all the time. Spotted lanternfly. New invasive species. Terrible. So anyway, when you see them, do the right thing, kill them. From what we understand, here they have no natural predators. So it's kind of hard to keep them under control. And if you raise fruit, it's a bigger issue. For example, we only raise a little bit of fruit, grapes. Yeah, they like to hit the grapes hard. They will completely destroy your grape crop and take all the flavor out of your grapes, which is not good. We don't like that. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, kale. Yeah, a lot of customers grow kale now, so we don't sell as much, but it's okay, as long as everybody's happy. Just got finished with work for the day. We're making our way up into the house. Mom, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Sausage and peppers and baked cauliflower, roasted cauliflower.
Alrighty, everybody, we are getting ready to sit down and eat dinner. Everybody's coming out to the table, so that means this is where we're gonna end the video today. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.